Hello. I'm uploading this video for the benefit of anybody considering joining the Marsello loyalty program, in particular with integration to Lightspeed O Series, formerly known as Counter. We were sold the automation and integration opportunity with the Marsello loyalty program. It was sold to us as a seamless integration, which would mean that all points that were to be allocated to a particular loyalty member would happen automatically, and that there would be a very simple, idiot-proof redemption process in the till system at the front end, and that there would be minimal complication for staff and for members, and that it would operate in a relatively seamless manner. We were provided with the premium onboarding package by Marsello, and regrettably it has been the worst decision that we have made as business operators. And I would like to take a moment to speak about it, because at this point I am receiving zero support from Marsello. I am receiving platitudes and AI responses from an organisation that does not even accept telephone calls. So it is a cautionary tale to anyone that might endeavour to deal with Marsello and then end up with difficulties. God forbid you end up with difficulties to the level that we have ended up, but you will receive no support. Indeed, when we went live last Thursday, the Marsello rep that had been dealing with us, who was full of pleasantries and platitudes and all of the normal sales pitch rhetoric, disappeared and refused to communicate with us. And we were only seeking a communication to answer some very simple teething problem questions. But we were dropped like a hot potato. So to talk about some of the issues we've had, we decided to operate two tiers: an ordinary member tier, which receives nominal discounts, or redemption vouchers, I should say, and then a VIP tier where people receive better value redemption vouchers. So this has happened now for the third day running, but anybody who we place into the VIP tier, the next day they have been removed from the VIP tier and placed back into the ordinary tier. So that's hopeless, because there's even a checkbox when you place somebody into the VIP tier that says lock to this tier so they can't fall out of it. We tick that on every occasion with more than a dozen members. Every single one of them has fallen out. When you look at the till system at the front end where our staff have to interact, there's a jumbled list of vouchers, some which are locked, some which are unlocked. There are VIP and low-level tier all mixed together. When you turn off the ability for a VIP to be able to access lower tier vouchers, instead of only displaying VIP tier vouchers, what happens is the VIP tier vouchers disappear altogether and they're only presented with the normal level vouchers. And rather than only displaying what is available, which is what we were promised, it doesn't. It displays a big long list. And some are locked, some are unlocked. And the staff, who are in a busy environment, faced with this, are unable to really work out what's going on, because they're faced with a big list rather than simply an available list. The next conundrum we've faced is the human error issue. The integration between Marsello and Lightspeed is a very dumb level integration, I would put it that way. There's no communication to and fro. It seems to be a one-way communication, and it is merciless and unforgiving. So if a staff member makes a mistake and redeems an incorrect voucher, whilst on the Lightspeed screen you can see it, and in the ordinary course of a product you would be able to click on it and remove it, that is not an option. So once some staff member commits by pressing a button, that's it. There's no take back, there's no mulligan, there's no undo. It is set in concrete. And if, for instance, a staff member applies a 10% discount voucher to a sale, and then the customer, after applying that 10% discount, decides they want to add one more product, well, it's too bad. It's too late. You can't undo the 10%. It's already occurred. So there's this evaporation and complete non-allowance for human error in pressured environments. So it's a complete failure in that regard, because what it requires is absolute precision from front-end staff who, for any number of reasons, will make human errors. So don't rely on the Marsello integration to work the way you anticipated, because as soon as there's a human error, you've got a big mess that cannot be cleaned up and requires staff to revert to a manual logbook, pull out a pen, write down the error that's occurred, write down the name of the customer, and then it relies on back office staff to be able to go into the back end to correct the error. So you may as well just keep a notebook and write down people's vouchers and points, because it would be equally as effective as this Marsello nonsense. Finally, I think it's finally, my head's swimming with all of the problems, but the next major problem as a business operator is a reporting issue. So those of you familiar with Lightspeed will be familiar that you can do an end of day report, or you can do a weekly report, you can do any number of reports. And those reports will tell you how you've received payments. You may have received them by card, you may have received them by cash, you may have used an account, chargeback account for instance, or you might have various discount categories for different kinds of discounts that you offer. But nowhere is there any ledger that tells you which discounts have been redeemed. So you get to the end of the day and your stock is out, because you can't calculate which products have had a discount applied to them. So when I say your stock is out, I don't mean your stock take is out. I mean your revenue for the category is out, because you can't see the discounts redeemed against that category. So you cannot back cost to work out whether your GP is where it should be, because you cannot account for those redeemed discounts. And when you go into the Marsello backend and you go to the analytics for loyalty, you can only see that, for instance, what we saw yesterday was that there were 15 redemptions, but I'm unable to see what was redeemed. I cannot see, were they $5 vouchers, $10 vouchers, were they 10% off vouchers? I just can't see it. And I cannot even get proper totals. So nowhere in this platform can I get the simple reporting that I need on either side, at Marsello's side or Lightspeed's side. I cannot get the simple report that says yesterday's takings were made up of this much card, this much cash, and this much discounts through Marsello. I cannot get a gross sales volume irrespective of payment method, because once the discount is applied, it just seems to evaporate into thin air. So what Marsello has now created for us is an accounting and logistical nightmare. So pausing on that thought, we've talked about the hopeless one-way street integration with no two-way communication and the inability to undo mistakes. We've talked about these peculiar system errors with VIP team members just slipping out overnight. And we've talked about the problem with the reporting. So there's another issue that's just come to my mind, which is why I was pausing before. Double up of accounts. So we were a transfer from a previous system known as Goody, and some of you will be aware of it. And so we had some 1,200 members already put into the system through a CSV file transfer. Unfortunately, when people go and scan the QR code to download the app onto their phone so they can see their loyalty points, etc., there's no opportunity for existing members to sign in. There's only a provision for new members to join. And so we have a new member sign up bonus of 50 points, but because of this poor design, what it means is that all existing members are also picking up on a new member benefit, which is not what we had intended. And then there's duplication. Now, Marsello help file specifically says if somebody uses a different email address, then duplication may occur and then you should consolidate. And I completely understand that, because it's email based. And we did have that on occasion. People were signing up with an updated email address, and then we'd have to go into the back end and when they say consolidate, I think what they mean is do a manual entry after you've done a manual calculation and then delete one of the two. So it's not really consolidation, it's a sort of adjust and delete, very manual, unautomated process. But we also had people who were signing up using the precise credentials that they had in the database, the same name, the same email address, and the same phone number, and we were getting duplicate accounts. And where this has left us, and we're only 5 days into this nightmare, is a disoriented staff who are disillusioned and unconfident and don't know how to use this. They're too afraid because once they make a mistake, it's irrecoverable. The customers we have are complaining because their points are not accruing properly because, of course, they're not seeing duplicate accounts, or their redemptions are not what they should be because they're seeing on their phone what their redemptions should be, but the redemptions are not available in the system. And we're getting bad feedback. I was on the floor just yesterday, and I had to deal with a couple of very unhappy regulars who unhappy about this messy changeover. I'm embarrassed, to say the least. I'm annoyed that we are embarrassed on this changeover. I'm annoyed that our staff are upset, and a lot of my time has been wasted trying to drill down on these problems. Now, when this system was sold to me, it was sold as a very automated, simple automatic process with great integration. We had the premium onboarding so that I didn't have to waste my time trying to drill down into IT areas. It's absolutely appalling that I should have to spend hours trying to understand and look for these problems without any support. And when I go to the chatbot for support, I get these ridiculous AI answers. And then when I finally get a human, they say, oh, well, we need precise examples, despite the fact that we've given the examples in the question on the chatbot. So I can say that we are thoroughly disappointed. We have been thoroughly misled. The product has been a complete misrepresentation. Its capabilities have been a complete misrepresentation. The premium onboarding has been a premium joke. Really, I would wholeheartedly want anyone considering the system to consider anything else, because I have never come across anything so shockingly set up and so shockingly incompetent and so shockingly basically flawed. It's as if some young programmer has produced their first beta copy of a highly defective and ineffective software structure. It is utterly shameful. I am driven to the point of feeling the need to prepare this video so that other unsuspecting business operators are not misled by the Marsello sales pitch and all of the broken promises that will come to you if you choose this product. So I hope that this video has been educational and beneficial to you in making your decision. I wish I'd had references such as this to help me with our decision, because if I'd seen it for what it is, I certainly would have gone in another direction. Good night now.